Retail or industrial or office, what type of properties should you buy? In this video I am going to uncover what are options available and what are the things that you should be looking into when you're buying a particular type of commercial property. Let's dive into it. Okay, first of all, let's understand what is retail properties. Now when we talk about commercial retail properties, the first thing that will come to your mind perhaps is kind of a shop, right? It's like a fish and chip shops, award shop or a cake shop, or even though in a property where you go to a shopping center, and in that shopping center you go to any kind of shops where it's a retail business is happening, then it's a retail commercial property, right? So that's the commercial property options right now you have. Now sometimes a retail shop can be a large format retail property, which is called LFR, and that could be a standalone building on its own. Big example would be a big property, it's an auto burn where all the car parts you can get it, and it's a big property, and this is why it is called the large format retail. So this is the retail property, right? Any kind of shops, it's a retail properties. The next one is the office properties. What is office? We all know that if you are working for a particular place in a company and if you're going to that place, so it's actually an office properties, right? It's in a commercial building. It could be in the CBD, it could be kind of if you're working as an accountant, and it might not be in the CBD, even in a different residential areas, also in one form of areas where you can find and this kind of small office space. Now there are office space all across Australia. You can find the CBD space, or you can go even each and every suburb. There is a kind of a main street where there are some office space as well. So this depends on where and what type of work that you are doing. Sometimes in this CBD area, particularly Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, if you see there's a big property and it's strata title office, it means like there's like, let's say, 10-story building. Each floor has 3 or 4 different offices. That is possible. Or sometimes you even also, like even in Sydney, let's say if you go towards Bella Vista or Norwest, you see that is called business park, and each business park, if you can see, there are multiple different offices. So this is another example of office spaces, right? So this is something that you can buy, which is available. And the next one is which is called the industrial properties. Whenever we talk about industrial, the first thing comes to our mind is a warehouse. And nowadays industrial properties, it could be outside of the CBD areas, because in CBD there are less and less industrial properties. Nowadays even council giving permissions to outer areas where in a particular location is been put together as a special economic zone, and the big industrial belt is been put, and all the different industrial, it could be a strata title industrial or it could be a standalone industrial building as well. So these are the 3 different types of properties that one of them you can buy. Now the question is that which one should you buy? For that we need to understand that what is your budget, what kind of properties that you will be interested in buying. For me, I would look for a high cash flow properties, and if you look for a high cash flow properties, particularly for the first investment properties, it will be very difficult for you to get a good return in an industrial property right now. Why? Because industrial is high demand right now. Why? After COVID particularly, a lot of people are talking about that industrial is more demand, because retail is being rechanged or like redistributed into industrial. Let me give you an example. Let's say earlier if you used to buy stuff, mostly you would go to this retail shop. Like if you want to buy a camera, you will go to a camera retail shop. If you want to even buy groceries, you go to particular retail shop. If you have any kind of things that you want to buy, your household goods or even any kind of non-perishable items as well, you would go there and buy it. So there is a retail shop. Now post COVID, or what is happening is a lot of people are buying online shopping, right? Online things is you are buying and looking things online, and then you are buying it. So the same things that you used to go there and buy, you are now buying it from home. So somebody is actually delivering that from a place. So that means those items does not need to be displayed. It actually is coming from a warehouse, and that's the shift. So there are a lot of retail is being redistributed in a way that we don't need that much retail anymore, we need more and more into warehouse, and that created a huge demand on the warehouses. And which is why earlier, like 10 years ago, industrial warehouse used to get like around 9% 10% return. Now this has gone down drastically. Right now even 7% return is, depends on where you're buying, is quite lucrative and it's quite good for an industrial property. Similarly, retail on the other side, depends on those retail properties, is also less lucrative as compared to industrial right now. So if you are purely looking for that what particular properties that you buy, perhaps industrial would be your number one options, because the more and more people are buying from home, as a result the demand is more. The second option is going to be the retail, and the third one would be the office. Why the third one is office? Because office, as you know, that we are talking about more and more people are working from home, so we do not need that office space. In fact, people are predicting as the time goes, more and more people will be working from home, and office spaces where it will not be that much kind of a necessity, like people will go to office 1 or 2 days in a week as compared to earlier 5 days a week. Now the question that you will be asking though is, what is something that you can buy which is in your affordability and which is giving you cash flow? You might take a risk of going for a office space which is tenanted, and you might get a better return. My favorite is like that, if you are planning to buy only one commercial property, then start perhaps with an industrial property, then the second one perhaps probably a retail property, and then third one you go for an office. And similarly, if you are looking for only one, and then industrial probably the best option in my opinion. Now as you see the more people are chasing, that means that industrial property return would be less compared to office properties. On the other side, office not many people are chasing, so you get a better return in the office properties. I hope you find these videos helpful. If you like, subscribe our channel, turn the notification bell on so you get to see more videos like this, and it will also help us to reach out to more people like you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.